Have you ever made a mistake so big it changes everything? I did. Hi, I'm Angelica, and welcome back to my final chance. Today, I'm telling you the hardest part of my gambling story. The day everything finally caught up with me, the day I got fired because of gambling. Look, I'm not sharing this for sympathy, but I'm sharing this because someone out there needs that wake up call that I ignored for way too long. I didn't lose my job overnight. Gambling took it from me slowly, piece by piece, day by day, hour by hour, second by second. My sleep, my focus, my honesty, my stability. Until one day, my boss said the words I already knew were coming: "We have to let you go." And those words pierced me really, really hard. You know what's the worst part? I wasn't even shocked about it. I had been living a double life for so long. It didn't begin with some dramatic explosion. It started with the small cracks. First, I started showing up late for work because I was exhausted. The nights that I had spent at the casino, they turned into mornings where my eyes were still bloodshot red, my mind buzzing with the sounds of slots and the cravings for that adrenaline rush. That's when I started making mistakes at work, like the simple ones, like forgetting tasks, missing emails, spacing out during meetings, going early from work, extreme sick leave, especially on paydays. I remember so many times my boss would ask me, "Angelica, are you okay?" And I always said, "I'm fine. I'm okay. Like everything's rosy. I'm okay. Definitely okay. A1. I'm excellent." That's exactly what I used to say on a positive tone while I fake my joy at the time. But I think everybody else could see that I was going through a lot of stuff and I wasn't being entirely honest about what exactly I was going through. I was so exhausted, running on adrenaline, stress, and lies, and the anxiety that's brought about the gambling addiction and the losing monies as well. The behavior that my co-workers noticed was so evident. People notice more than you think. My colleagues started whispering, "Why does she disappear during lunch? Why does she always seem stressed? Why is she always borrowing money and she's not even able to pay us back? Like, what's up with her? What's going on?" Because that's exactly what I was doing. Some days I'd go out to gamble during my lunch breaks. I'd sneak out and never come back to work. And the next morning, I'd have an excuse for that behavior. So it had become a cycle because I was always looking for quick cash to double or triple at the time. My whole day was built around gambling and not my job. I had lost all focus. Sometimes I hated myself for that because I had prayed so long and very hard for that job only for me to get it and just waste it away like that. But then something used to tell me that, no, don't worry about the job. One of these days, you're going to hit it really big and screw the job. That's it. The day when everything collapsed, whew, I had spent the entire night at the casino. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I just kept on chasing losses. I was chasing losses, loss after loss, and the adrenaline rush, the dopamine. It was as if I had gone on some major gambling spree. And remember, I was trying to win back the money in order for me to go and get my car back. I didn't even know whether it was still going to be possible or not. So on that morning, I came into work. I was so uncapped. I looked as if I had seen a ghost. And that was because instead of going home from the casino, I rushed straight to work from the casino. I was so disorientated. So on that morning, I looked like a ghost. I was so unkept. I looked rushed. And remember, I hadn't gone home. So I had gone straight from the casino to the office because I was already on a final warning. So I didn't want to take my chances. I walked in late again. My hands were trembling. My eyes were burning. I couldn't think straight. I was so disorientated. And I was supposed to submit my sales report for the month on that day. I submitted my report as if it was some pavement work. The figures were incorrect. It was half finished. It had some half finished sections, and obviously it had a lot of errors. So submitted it, and then less than 30 minutes later, my boss called me into the office, and before he said anything, I already knew. Oh, I remember he closed the door and he sighed and he said softly, Angelica, this is not you. Something is wrong. Something is bothering you. You are just not yourself. I broke down right there. There was just no more excuses, no more lies, just the tears of shame running down my face. I had these uncontrollable tears running down my face because I knew that this was just the final straw. Well, he told me that the company had no choice because my performance had dropped. They had to let me go. My performance had dropped too much, and the clients were complaining, and the trust was broken. So, hearing those words broke me apart. He said, We have to let you go. Those were his exact words. I was broken, but I just knew that it had been coming for quite a long time. I walked out of that office with a box in my hand and a storm in my chest. I didn't just lose a job, I lost stability, I lost dignity, I lost the version of myself I used to be proud of. And remember, it wasn't even a week since I had lost my car to gambling. hmm So I felt to myself that I've lost so much to this gambling now. What's next? Oh, well, you'd think getting fired would make me stop. But here's the honest truth that I've never told anyone. I didn't stop. That same moment leaving the office with shame on that day, I decided to catch a cab and I went straight to the casino. This time around, I had gone there just to cheer myself up. I wasn't even worried if I was going to win or lose anything. I felt as if the dopamine rush would sort of help me to get over things. It would make my load lighter. I gambled even harder after losing my job because gambling addiction works like that. You don't see the consequences as a warning. You don't see them as warning signs. You see them as reasons to escape. I felt lost. I felt ashamed. I felt worthless. And the place I thought I still had control was in front of a slot machine. Looking back right now, my real wake up call wasn't losing my job. It was realizing that if I didn't take back my life, I'd lose everything else. I'd lose my family, I'd lose my mental health, my sanity, and I'd lose basically everything because that was everything that I was left with at that time. As hard as it was, I had to admit to myself that I needed help and I needed more than financial help. I needed help in order to be able to let go of the gambling. If you've watched this video so far, thank you so much for watching. I know that you can relate to the certain aspects of what I have mentioned. And if you're watching this because you're struggling, let my story be a warning before you hit rock bottom. Look, while getting fired hurt me, it also saved me because it forced me to face the truth that I had been running away for a very long time. I'm still healing. Every day is still a fight, but every day is also a chance to choose myself again. And if you're going through the same, you're going through the gambling addiction, you're going through the motions, and you're trying to quit gambling, please know that you can rise from this too. You are not alone. Recovery is possible. And as much as it may hurt right now, the solutions are there. The solutions are within. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe so that you may be notified anytime I drop new content. I'm Angelica, a recovering gambling addict. Love you, thanks. Peace. Mwah. Catch you on the next video.